This time of year, one of the best seasonal fruits are peaches. They have this amazing aroma and they're very, very juicy. You know, and I was thinking, what can I do with these things? So I'm gonna do one of my signature desserts, and that's peach Melba. Now, if you've ever had peach Melba before, it is a perfect marriage of poached peaches, creamy vanilla bean ice cream, and a fresh raspberry coulis. First step in this thing, we're gonna make a poaching liquid right now, okay? Now what I've done, I've taken Moscato and I put some Moscato in here. I've also got about the same amount of water, okay? Now, I use a particular kind of water on this. I've used this Fiji water, and if you guys have ever had this stuff, I wanna tell you a little bit about it. This stuff actually comes from the island of Fiji. Now, there's this thing called an aquifer that this facility is built on. And what happens is over years, all the rainfall and stuff goes right through that volcanic rock that's on that island. And it just kind of filters it. And then the facility pumps it right up out of this aquifer into this bottle. So essentially, no humans have ever touched this water until you open the cap and put it in your mouth. That's amazing, isn't it? This stuff is awesome. It has a great mouthfeel to it. It's a little softer water, but man, it's really good. So this is what I'm using here with these peaches. So a couple other things that I want to put in this poaching water. I've got some sugar that I'm going to put in here. And I've also got a vanilla bean. Now, you've seen vanilla beans before. They're in a pod just like this. So what we have to do is, I'm just going to cut the end of it off right here real quick. And I'm going to take it, and I'm going to cut it long ways. So that what I'm doing is actually splitting this pod wide open, and it has seeds in it, just like this. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the back of my knife and I'm just going to kind of scrape these seeds out. See all that goodness right there? That's the vanilla bean, and that's what's going in here. So what's going to end up happening is the water with this vanilla in it is going to infuse itself into these peaches. So the way we do these peaches, you take a whole peach, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a knife and I'm just going to kind of cut it around, just kind of like we've done the avocado many, many times. And we twist it apart, and then there's a pit in there that you have to get out. So we'll go ahead and just kind of dig that pit out just like that, and you've got two peach halves. So here's what we do. You're going to take the top of this peach, and you're going to exit just very lightly so it just breaks the skin. And what this is going to do is after it poaches, it's going to make the skin peel really easy. So we're going to put these face down right in this awesome bath. Now, something to remember about poaching, 165 to about 180 degrees. You don't want this boiling. And if it goes more than 10 minutes, that's probably too long. These peaches are not the ripest in the world, but they are very good right now. So it might take 7 or 8 minutes, okay? All right, now, while this is going, I want to start our coulis, our raspberry coulis we talked about. I've got some fresh raspberries right here, and I'm going to put these in a pan. And when it hits this heat, it's going to immediately begin to kind of just break down a little bit, and that's okay. We're going to add a few little things in here. I told you that before I had a little twist. I'm going to put some sugar, and I'm going to put about a half of the juice of a lemon in there also. But my little twist that I like to do on this dessert is I put a little bit of chili flake in there. Now, you only need a little bit. What you're trying to gain here is a little bit of back end heat right at the very end. So we're going to move this around just a little bit, and we're going to let these cook for just a few seconds. And while we're doing that, I want to mention our website. You know, I always tell you, I love your comments that you leave for me on the website. You can leave yours at cookinwithkroger.com. You let me know your favorite dish from the show, and I may read it on the air. We also give away a $100 Kroger shopping spree on every episode. So log in, leave your comments for your chance to win. Now, we had a lot of good response from our hot dog show that we just had not too long ago. I did about 6 gourmet hot dogs. And guys, really appreciate the feedback on that. And I also mentioned earlier that in the show that I'm giving away 3 cases of Fiji water. Fiji Water is also giving away a trip to Fiji where they make this water during the entire month of July. For more details and how to enter to win, simply log on to FijiWater.com/Fiji. All right, let's see how our stuff's doing here. I got my coulis working here. I'm gonna see how, if you can kind of see that, you can get a good camera shot of that. They're breaking down already, and this is just about ready. I'm gonna check my peaches. I'll move them around just a little bit, and the way you tell this is you can feel it. They've probably got a little bit longer left to go, okay? So, to finish up this, this raspberry coulis, I'm gonna take an immersion blender. We've used this today already. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in here, and I'm just going to puree this thing and just get all these chunks of raspberry. And boy, I'm glad I have a black coat today, because if I had white on, there'd be red all over me right now. So be real careful when you're doing this. So, one bad thing about raspberries, they are awesome fruit, but they have seeds in them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strain this through a fine mesh sieve or something just like that. So I'm gonna put it in there, just like that, and it's gonna kind of smooth it out. And what happens is you can see that sauce just kind of running through it, just like that. And all that's left in here is the seeds. And that's all you have to do to it, just like that. Okay? So, you take this sauce, you put it in the refrigerator for a little bit till it chills. Then we're gonna check on our peaches. All right? Now, they should, like I said, they should begin to get soft. So I'm gonna pull these out just like that and let them cool. Now what you wanna do at this point, you wanna actually put them in the refrigerator, let them cool. Because if you wanna eat the dessert when it's actually kinda cold. And I have some right here that I finished up that I've already peeled, and see how they're kinda spongy? These are perfectly poached, okay? So, we're ready to plate this thing. One little trick about this dessert, it's got ice cream on it. So what you wanna do, you wanna use a very cold plate. So what I've done, I put a plate in my freezer with my vanilla bean ice cream. So let me get that out. And another great trick for this dessert is actually putting your ice cream in the refrigerator for a little bit so it softens just enough that you can get your scoop down in here. So here's how we plate it. I'm gonna take a little bit of that cooled raspberry coulis, and I'm just gonna put it down on the plate like this, just like this. Just so I have a base, okay? Then I'm gonna take my peaches. I guess I'll just put 2 down on it, just like that. So we'll put those right there on the end. Then I've got, oh, this ice cream is perfect. So we're gonna put 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream right there on the end, just like that, and just like this. Then we're gonna take a little more of this raspberry coulis right over top of it. Just drizzle it just like that. Look at that. And then for a little bit of crunch, I like to use some toasted almonds. I'll put a few of those right on top of there, just like that. And then garnish it with maybe just a little mint. Just like that. There you go. Peach Melba. When Cooking with Kroger returns, we're putting it all together. Don't go away.